Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. I'm Brother Chizkiah to my right,
Brother Laharoy,
and we are coming to you again with another exciting Sunday Heat topic. All right, today's topic is called Resisting Pleasures, Admonish a Friend. Brother Laharoy, my apologies. Take it away.
I appreciate you, my friend. Shalom, family. Of course, another Israelite Biblical Academy. All right, topic, resisting pleasures, admonish a friend. What does admonish mean, you might say? Admonish means to warn a friend, all right? We're supposed to be resisting these pleasures in the walk, resisting our lust, resisting temptation, and we're supposed to, especially if we love our brethren, we're supposed to be warning. We're supposed to be letting them know what's going on, all right? We're supposed to be reproving and correcting, all right? So starting off into our in our intro, let's go to what I like to go to, the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 4.
All right. The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 4. Hold on, my apologies. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently.
That's right. The Lord God has commanded you. This is not an option. This is not a feeling. This is an obligation. You don't have a choice. All right. You're supposed to keep his precepts, meaning his laws, diligently, day in, day out. Joshua 1:8 for reference. Let's take that to the next one. The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verses 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way.
That's right. Through these laws, if you are following and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments the way you're supposed to, you will gain understanding. If you have, and if you are gaining understanding, you should hate every false way. You should know that pagan Christianity isn't the right way. You should hate it. You should know that Islam or atheism or any of these things aren't the right way, and you should hate it. All right? Getting this understanding sets you apart. So hate all the other false ways. Let's take that to the next one. The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 128.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, and verse 128. Therefore, I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way.
That's right. From left to right, Genesis to Revelations, including the Apocrypha, the scriptures got every answer that you need to accomplish your goals in this life. All right. So because you have every answer that you need, because you know to go to the scriptures and find it, you should double down on hating the false way. You know that you can't eat pork. That's the answer right there for dietary restrictions. You know you shouldn't be in the midst of fornication. You know you shouldn't be in the midst of adultery. You know you shouldn't like lust and homosexuality and things like that. All right? This has the answers to everything you need. All you got to do is find it and be diligent. All right. Jumping into our topic, let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them a warning from me.
Exactly.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him now warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he will turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
That's right.
Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin, and his righteousness, which he have done, shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man, that the righteous sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also, thou hast delivered thy soul.
Exactly, my people. If we love each other, genuinely love each other, and not even just about loving each other, but loving yourself enough to give your brothers warning or to admonish your brothers, to tell them, hey man, come out of the world, come out of this low state of existence that we live in. It's time to be set apart. Righteous man. You might seem like he knows, but you don't give him warning. Dude, his blood is going to be on your hands. All right? We're supposed to be warning each other because we love each other. My brother, I know you. If you saw me sinning, doing something crazy, at the very least of what you should do is warn me, let me know, educate me, right?
Absolutely. That's what we're supposed to do. I mean, that's like you seeing somebody go out and they playing in traffic, right? Now, we already know if you go ahead and you do that, you definitely run the risk of getting hit by a car or a truck or anything else like that. For me to sit there knowing that you're doing that and for me to not say anything to try and warn you and I just let you die, because obviously that's exactly what's going to happen. You know, that's not me showing love for my brother or my sister, right? If anything, that's showing hatred in a way, because I know something that could be a benefit to you and it's something you may not even notice. But I'm not going to tell you because I just don't want to.
Right.
Yeah, that's hatred.
And
so,
if you showing hatred for me in that regard, just like verse what was that? Ezekiel 3:19 and 18. You don't love yourself because my blood gonna be on your hands. Because I might have been ignorant and stupid, but you had the knowledge. That's like a parent not telling their child, oh, yeah, you can go play with the strangers. But do you hate your child? Do you hate yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's take that. Yeah, bro. Let's take that to the next one. The book of Mark, chapter 8, verse 34.
The book of Mark, chapter 8 and verse 34. And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake in the gospels, the same shall save it. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Well, what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Whosoever, therefore, shall be ashamed of me and my words in his adulterous and sinful generation, of him also the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels.
Man, I tell you, bro, the part about this particular passage right here that really gets me every time the most. Verse 36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So bro, we cut out there for a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
That verse 36. If we supposed to be resisting pleasures. So, I mean, obviously we already know for us married men out there, that 2-3 minutes of pleasure of gaining a woman, getting her admiration of, and following in on that pleasure. Yeah, you gain that love, that pleasure, that attention that you were seeking, but at the exact same time, you're going to lose your soul. Same thing when it comes to eating pork. Same thing when it comes to drinking too much. All right. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, you get a little geeked. Yeah, it's real fun. But then what? You get cirrhosis of the liver? Then what? You're not sober and vigilant in this walk? The whole point is to resist the temptations that are coming towards us so that we may gain more. We gain the whole world. We gain immortality more than the world. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, bro.
You know, we live in a world, ladies and gentlemen, where sin runs rampant. All right. We have so many people that we deal with on a daily basis whose entire premise, their entire what's the word I'm looking for? Appeal for life is intertwined with sin. All right. Every time we turn on our phones, every time we turn on the television, go outside, we're seeing how people even presenting themselves attire wise. It's all shrouded in sin. Now, if we really look at it, being a sinful individual would kind of be like taking the broad path, right? It's easy. Everyone is doing it. Why not join in? But the Most High God commands us to walk the narrow path. So if we're going to do that and we're going to call ourselves true believers, true followers of Christ, true Israelites, okay? We have to be willing to navigate that narrow path. We have to be willing to do what everyone else is not doing. All right, taking the road less traveled. And that road less traveled is the road to righteousness. And that is the true road to the kingdom of heaven.
Exactly, my friend. You say it beautiful every time, bro. That's why I love having you around. Let's take that to the book of Sirach, chapter 19.
All right. Let's see. The book of Sirach, chapter 19. All right. 1 through 30. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent. Moths and worms shall have him to heritage, and a bold man shall be taken away. He that is hasty to give credit is light-minded, and he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul.
Right. Before we move on, verse 1 through 3, right? I don't know about you guys out there, but I know I used to have a very labor-intensive job. All right. After that labor-intensive job, I wanted to come home and drink. All right. I ain't care about really nothing else. The first thing I wanted to come home and do was come home, pour myself a cup of whiskey, a cup of bourbon. All right. But because I come home and instead of focusing on my scriptures, instead of focusing on what's truly important, my family, guiding my children, guiding my wife, all right, I'm focused on these baser pleasures, on, thinking I'm going to get my mind right by getting me a little drink. I'm gonna get myself together first and take care of me. All right. Not only that, but then it goes on even further to expound in verse 2, talking about wine and women make men of understanding to fall away. All right. We have to be mindful, extremely mindful of these baser pleasures that drag us down into the muck and mire with the rest of everybody else out there. You are Israelite. You are set apart. You are greater. Do not have yourself be consumed with these baser pleasures. Yeah, we get it. You stressed out, bro, but it's okay. Dig into your scriptures. You will find success and prosperity. You will gain knowledge. The Lord will put the Spirit on you to take whatever burden away from you in due time. It just requires diligence. Going down into verse 4 where he says, he that is hasty to give credit is light-minded, and he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul. When we give into these baser pleasures, when we're light-minded and not considering, we are not just harming our community. We're harming ourselves. All right. Not only are we supposed to be warning our brother, but this is also about loving yourself. All right. Let's continue.
Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned, but he that resisteth pleasures crowneth his life.
Exactly. To resist these baser pleasures is a crown to our life. It's going to bring us glory and honor. I mean, glory and honor of the Lord is, I mean, you already read it. Just gaining wisdom is far better than any rubies that you could ever get. Just being able to have the opportunity to walk the narrow path, see the light, receive orders from the Lord on the day. That is a true honor. But if we drag our own selves down with baser pleasures, oh man, that girl over there, man, she got thick thighs in a small waist. You know how much I love that? Ooh wee. I mean, yeah, but it ain't worth it, bro. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just honestly not. Verse 6, please, sir.
He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife, and he that hateth babbling shall have less evil. Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee, and thou shalt fare never the worse. Whether it be to friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives, and if thou canst without offense, reveal them not.
This is about discretion. So in last week's class, I know I went over, sometimes we take discretion too far. All right. But I wanted to come back and also address the fact that what you and your brother got going on, let that be the counsel between you two. But at the exact same time, you need to be giving warning to your brothers, warning to yourself, and studying. All right. So that your vain babblings, your baser pleasures do not consume you. So you can get that crown, get that life. All right. Read on.
For he, my apologies. For he heard and observed thee, and when time cometh, he will hate thee. If thou hast heard a word, let it die with thee, and be bold. It will not burst thee.
Exactly. We have to remember, everybody. We have to remember discretion is everything. Warning your brother is everything. All right. But we have to have a just balance. Proverbs 11:1. I don't have it in the class right now. You don't have to go there. You can go there on your own time. All right. Study, show yourself approved. Proverbs 11:1. A just balance is required. All right. So let's make sure we warning our brothers, we resisting these pleasures. But at the exact same time, if I tell you something, bro, I don't expect you to go out there and tell everybody else. That stays between me and you. All right.
Because now at that point, you know, once you engage in that, brothers and sisters, you have now become a talebearer, right? And the scriptures speaks directly against that. All right. You should not be going up and down, always having someone else's business or someone else's name constantly on your tongue. All right. Because in a way, what you're really doing is just showing hatred for that brother or that sister. Then, especially if it be a situation where they have come to you, all right, maybe with a confession, maybe with something that has been weighing heavy on their heart, and they just needed someone to really speak to and actually get that advice, get that brotherly warning, that sisterly warning. And for you to then take that information and then to utilize it in a destructive way, or to go ahead and share that counsel with another person, you are being evil as hell. Let's just put it that way. Because it's like at that point, well, now how can I have trust in you? This stuff like this happens so often, and there's a reason why there's so much distrust for one another within our community as a people, in the truth and outside of the truth. You have a lot of people who will portray themselves to be someone who can be trusted, someone who you can share things with, and they genuinely care enough about you to not go ahead and say something. But in actuality, that's not what we have going on. And that type of behavior destroys more relationships than anything else. That type of behavior causes more friction more than anything else. So if we're truly righteous people, and we even see that the Most High God clearly is set against it, then in no shape, form, or fashion should we still be practicing that type of behavior amongst one another.
Right. And not only that, bro, but me confiding in you. What did verse 4 literally just tell us? He that is hasty to give credit, light-minded. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a light-minded person because I put my trust in somebody. They take my business out there. All right. Instead of warning me, you warning everybody else. What are you doing?
Right.
All right. Come to me personally. We already know that. But now if I don't hear you, right, what Matthew 18 say, then you take it 2 or 3 witnesses, then you take it to the congregation. All right. There's a proper order to everything that we got going on in Israel. We have to make sure that we stick into that order. All right. Please, sir, continue.
All right.
I think you left out verse 9.
No, we're on verse 11. A fool travaileth with a word as a woman in labor of a child. As an arrow that sticketh in a man's thigh, so is a word within a fool's belly. Admonish a friend, and maybe he have not done it. And if
warn a friend, warn him. All right. Some of us out here, we are fools. All right. Some of us out here, we are wise. All right. We don't want to be light-minded, but we want to resist these pleasures. All right. If talebearing and getting that attention and vainglory brings you pleasure, that is something that you need to stop from. Stop those things. Resist that pleasure. Resist that vainglory. All right. Please continue.
admonish a friend, and maybe he have not done it. And if he have done it, that he do it no more. Admonish thy friend, and maybe he have not said it, and if he have, that he speak it not again. Admonish a friend, for many times it is a slander, and believe not every tale.
Exactly.
There is one that slippeth in his speech, but not from his heart. And who is he that have not offended with his tongue?
We've all said things that we don't mean. We've all, I know me personally, especially, in an early relationship with my wife. Oh man, we fight like cats and dogs. I say anything to get you riled up.
Right.
That's not proper. That's not what we're supposed to do. But what is that called that we're supposed to have? Temperance, meekness. All right.
And patience.
Exactly. Patience. Exactly.
Let's think about it for a second, bro. Like, not to, interject too much, but what is one of the main things that Satan always uses to infiltrate and destroy relationships? He uses anger, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
He uses anger. He uses confusion. All right. A lot of times people are so quick to answer and they're not quick to listen. A lot of times when you don't listen, you miss details. All right. And then you being in an angered state, you're unable to see what's truly going on.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm pretty sure we've all found ourselves in situations like this when we're so quick to get angry, and then we come off and we say things and we do things that we end up regretting. And maybe if we had just taken the time to truly balance ourselves out and try to understand the situation, that anger probably wouldn't have overcome us as easily as it did.
Exactly. Bro, exactly what verse 15 literally said. Admonish a friend, warn your friend. For many times it is a slander. It is a slander, and believe not every tale. All right, this person that's going out there might be telling your business. They might be receiving their glory for that from these people. These people are following them. Okay, but doesn't the scriptures tell you do not be ignorant in any matter, small or great? Aren't you supposed to go and give that person that you've heard this tale about? Dang, bro, oh boy, talking about you greasy, man. Is this true? Are you going through this? You need help? You need some exhortation? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, since we're speaking about that, I mean, it's only right that we need to go to the scripture, because it's one thing for us to talk about it, but it's quite another for God to talk about it. So can you do me a favor? I want you to go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 7.
I got you, bro. Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke.
Right. So that's something that if a lot of people did, it would definitely prevent a lot of issues from occurring, wouldn't it? Would it not?
Oh yes. Oh
All
yes.
right. People are
And it would
so
make
quick
you not
to
like-minded.
right. You know, if anytime someone comes to you and they tell you something about another brother or sister, the first thing you need to be doing at that point is you hear what they got to say, but at the same time, you also should take the initiative to then speak to that brother or that sister to find out whether or not this is true or not. And if it isn't, well, now you have a situation where, hey, you may need to get both people together so that you can actually judge righteously on the matter at hand. It's not enough to sit there and just listen to one side and then believe it. That's another thing that causes a lot of problems. And what we have to understand is our people like to lie a lot. Let's just keep it a stack. Like our people like to lie, depending on what the situation is, depending on what they're trying to prove. Yeah. Lies are often intertwined with that. So the Most High God knows that because He knows us as His people. So that's why He left us this scripture so that we can follow it. If people followed it, we wouldn't have the issues that we have consistently.
That's right. That's right, bro. Every time. Please continue.
All right.
17.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 17. Admonish thy neighbor before thou threaten him, and not being angry. Give place to the law of the Most High. We just spoke about that.
Literally.
So, further reinforcement, okay? The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of Him, and wisdom obtaineth His love.
Wisdom obtaineth His love. Wisdom. The knowledge that you know that you need, just like we went over in Ezekiel 3, right? We're supposed to be warning our brothers to obtain His love, not just my brother's love, but the Lord's love as well. He literally put you out there as a watchman to go and warn His people. All right, please continue.
The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of Him, and wisdom obtaineth His love. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. And
That's
they
right.
that do things that please Him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
The fruit of the tree. That's what we are doing this for. I don't know what anybody else is doing this for, whether you're doing it for the, oh, yeah, I'm an Israelite, check me out, or, oh, yeah, look at my garment at Passover or whatever. None of that matters. All right. It's about immortality. It's about serving the Lord. It's about doing literally what Adam couldn't do. Live forever. Serve the Lord and do it in perfection, or at least striving for it. That's my goal. Please.
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of His omnipotency.
The performance of the law. Don't let nobody deceive you and don't be like-minded. Let somebody deceive you and take you away. Oh, well, the Lord loves everybody, brother. No, that's a lie they've been telling for centuries now. It's literally to take you away from the tree of immortality, to take you away from the knowledge of the Lord and His omnipotency. Please continue.
If a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleaseth thee, though afterward he do it, he angereth him that nourisheth him. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence.
Exactly. If you know, if a brother has a characteristic being a habitual liar, being somebody who would change up the story, being somebody who's not really a trusted person, why would you even listen to their counsels? What, take that with less than a grain of salt. All right. We're supposed to be warning our brothers, but we also supposed to be prudent and wise at the exact same time. All right.
Because the thing is, brothers, you know, when you don't utilize wisdom, you make a fool out of yourself.
Yeah.
And making a fool out of yourself comes with so many consequences. So many. And we see that here within the scriptures. So the Most High God, He makes it His well, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not even gonna say mission, but He does His best to express just how important it is to have wisdom, how to gain it, how to utilize it, so that we don't end up making the mistakes of a fool. Because the mistakes of a fool lead to what? Sin, right? Leads to hatred amongst the brethren, right? It leads to false understandings, misleading people. So it's not always best to sit over there and just think that you know everything, or to speak in a way that would present you as being someone who is all-knowing, because we already know that none of us is all-knowing. The only all-knowing person is the Most High God. It is our responsibility to be meek. It's our responsibility to be humble, all right, and to accept the fact that we don't know everything, and to rely on what God has left us instead of relying on what we think or what we see or what we want things to be, because that is a problem. Proverbs 3 and 5, right? Lean not to thine own understanding.
Exactly.
And acknowledge God in all his ways, not acknowledge Lahiror, not acknowledge Chizkiah, not acknowledge this elder, no, we're supposed to acknowledge God so that he can direct our ways.
Exactly, bro. And I feel like that goes right into verse 21. If a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleases thee, though afterward he do it. Oh man, you know what? Now you was right. I'm gonna do that. If you've already brought on the wrath of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Just like it said up earlier, you know, listening to other people, hearing these tales, not giving warning, not, you know, being light-minded, not resisting the pleasures, looking for vainglory, looking for anything really other than a tree of immortality, tree of life.
Yeah.
You're going to bring on the wrath of the Lord, who nourishes you, who gives to you. He make you rich, he make you poor, he kills you, he heals you.
Right. Yeah, absolutely right. Verse 23. There is a wickedness in the same an abomination, and there is a fool wanting in wisdom. He that hath small understanding and fear of God is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
Exactly. If you got small understanding, rely on that understanding and expound on it. Just because you have small understanding doesn't mean you have to stay small. The Lord will give you the increase. All you got to do is follow the instructions, study to show yourself approved. The performance of the law is what's going to give you knowledge. The wisdom and the reform is what's going to save you. Wisdom of Solomon 9:18. All right. These are the things that's going to bring you closer to God. But if you got a lot of knowledge and you transgressing the law, you know better than the scribes and Pharisees. And what did it say? Unless your righteousness exceeds the scribes and the Pharisees, you will not
make it to the kingdom.
Exactly. And what were the scribes and Pharisees? Hypocrites. They knew the law, but they refused to do the law. And that's what made them so bad.
And just to tie that in, brother, because we always got to use scriptures. I mean, I'm not going to put it up, guys, but make sure you take a look at Hebrews 10:26, because it perfectly coincides with what is being said here. All right. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. That's Hebrews 10:26. So if you are following after individuals who are, let's say that they've been placed within a higher place within your congregation, all right, or they've been given certain responsibility that they need to be taking, you know, with, you know, actual real importance, and actually seeing that, hey, listen, people are looking at me right now. Okay. I need to make sure that I'm a righteous example. If you're following under people who are not doing this, okay, they are sinning willfully, knowing what they're doing is wrong, but trying to hide behind it. These are people you're supposed to be trying to get away from. You cannot wink at sin. Exactly. You cannot sit there and try to act like, oh, well, this person is an elder. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, obviously the Most High God has favor. No, absolutely not, because there's a lot of false prophets out here. Okay, this is why respect of persons is something that the Most High God tells us not to have. All right, we know who we should follow after, who we should listen after, based off of the fruits that they bear. As a matter of fact, that's how the Most High God, that's how even Christ is able to identify those true Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Those true believers. We are known by our works. So if you are seeing somebody who is producing, not producing good fruit, okay, they are cancerous, which means they need to be cut off. Which means they need to be cut off from your life. You need to be moving away from them.
Exactly.
Because they will lead you to sin.
Yep. My bad, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine. I just wanted to bring that up. I'm sorry.
No. But what you were saying was 100% right on. If they doing all this, how can they profit themselves, let alone you or the rest of the nation?
Can't.
They can't. Exactly.
All right. Verse 25. Ecclesiastes 19, verse 25. There is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is subtlety, and the same is unjust. And there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he is full of deceit.
He'll put on the front. They put on the front. Oh man. Oh man.
Shalom, most high in Christ bless, brother.
Exactly. Or dang, brother, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that's awful. But then they turn around and be like, yeah, I wanted that nigga to fall anyway. Yeah.
They hit you with the, in Israel, we all we got.
Yeah.
But they're doing things to consistently cause separation.
Division. Exactly. Continue, please.
Casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not, where he is not known. He will do thee a mischief before thou be aware.
Yeah, brother, what'd you say? What? You didn't say that, man. Oh,
right.
What? I don't recall that, my friend. I don't recall you saying that, bro. No, right. No, man, you full blown heard. You pretending, just like verse 26 said, there's a wicked man that hangeth down. Oh no, 27, casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not. No, bro, you knew, you heard. You just didn't want to admonish me. You don't want to give me any warning. You want to allow me to give into my pleasures, and you want to give into yours. But if we really all we got, we gonna do this together as a family. No.
The first thing that they'll tell you too is they'll call you a liar, bro. Or they'll say that the fact that you're actually bringing something up to them, they'll say, "Oh, you're disrespectful."
Right.
But we see here, what is that called, brother? If you're doing something like that, you are considered to be a wicked man. You are considered to be a wicked woman. Okay. Verse 28. And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil.
For want of power, he's not resisting the pleasures, going full blown on into whatever his mind so wants to go through with. Him, me, you, obviously, whatever, it don't matter. What I'm saying here is that you putting on the front and calling yourself righteous, saying you one of us, saying this, saying that, but then what? When you found the opportunity, when you was, back at your house or whatever, participating in evil.
Right.
A hypocrite, like a scribe or a Pharisee. 29.
A man may be known by his look, and one that have understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. A man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is. Brother Lahab, are you there? Looks like we may have just lost a bit of connection, brothers and sisters. Just bear with us for a second.
My bad, yo. That's my Wi-Fi. I live in the boonies. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
All right. So verse 30, it says, a man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is. All right. Don't get me wrong. I am the type of person to excessively laugh. I like laughing. I like smiling. I like having an uplifted countenance. But a person that has excessive laughter and they sitting there and they piling around with you, but then they taking your same exact word and they telling it to somebody else, or they telling a tale, or they pretending to be your friend, but they putting on a front. Putting on a front. Just like it has said, you know, and a man's might be known by his look.
Right.
I'm saying. You got anything to say for that one, bro?
It's time and place, brothers and sisters. A time and place for everything. All right. There's a time to be serious. There's a time for laughter, and there's a time for war. All right. So, you know, there's just certain things that, you know, we have to show a bit of seriousness towards, and that seriousness should always be applied towards following after the Most High God with the best of our ability.
All right. 100%.
All right.
Let's take that to the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, 1 through 9.
All right. The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. All of these right here are in of their own more of pleasures of somebody, of a wicked person. All right. This is how they are going to feel. Please, I'm sorry to interrupt. Please go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with the diverse lusts.
And what are those silly women? They're light-minded. They mock at sin. Oh, it's okay. Oh, I can change him. No, that man is wicked. And unto a wicked man, given a wicked woman, and vice versa.
Right. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Now is Janus and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds, reprobate concerning the faith. But they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest unto all men, as theirs also was.
Their folly, their foolishness is made known to all men. Man, let's go to the next one, bro, and then we're gonna have to cut it short for part 2.
Okay, sounds good to me. What you want next, bro?
Galatians chapter 5, please, sir.
All right.
But the reason why I was going over that, it said perilous times shall come. Just like we read in Sirach 9, some people putting on the front, all right? But if they have any of these attributes right here, if you have any of these attributes, even me, if I have any of these attributes, we have to repent while this grace period is still going. While you still alive, you still drawing breath, it's time to repent. If you know anybody that's going through this right now with these days and times and the amount of prophecy that's coming out in the news and in the world, it's time to admonish our friends. And before our friends even get a chance to warn us and admonish us, we should already be resisting these pleasures, these baser things.
Right.
Please continue, bro.
The book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law.
Well, if you be led of the spirit, you are not under the law, because you're already doing the law. You are already subject to the law. What does the law do? It brings curses. What's the law for adultery? Death, murder, death. When you lie, you get put outside the camp. You get sat down. When the law comes curses. So if your spirit is already participating in the law and doing the right things, you are not subject to these curses. It don't mean you don't got to follow the law. Don't be simple-minded.
Right.
I just had to say that.
No, you have to. You know, people get crafty. Right. The book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 19. Everything good over there, bro?
Nah, bro, my lights just went out.
That ain't nothing but Satan. We're going to continue going, though. Verse 19. Yeah. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
Exactly, my brothers and sisters, my friends, my family. All right. Along with this, add this along to that long list in 2 Timothy 3. Right. All right. Add this to that list. Because if we are falling into any of these baser pleasures, all right, we are no better than the heathens, than the other nations. How are you going to be set apart when we got these attributes on us? All right.
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 You can't be.
You can't be. You can't be set apart if you got these attributes on you. You literally can't.
Especially to call yourself an Israelite and to be, you know, in this truth. Okay. If you're partaking in these things here that God clearly has told us we will not inherit the kingdom of God for, you are in the midst of sin. You on the wrong path. Honestly, so listen, we all have mercy. Okay. We have grace. But that grace and mercy only extends but so far. All right. So just bringing it back to what my brother had brought out before in Ezekiel 3. Okay. We have to warn you. You have to warn one another, because if you're engaged in this type of lifestyle, all right, the only thing that's going to come of it is consistent sin being reproduced, and that sin leading to your death. That sin leading to you forfeiting your place within the kingdom of heaven.
Exactly.
You need to think about that, because that should be more important to you than anything that this world has to offer. All of these things here that we see being represented and shown, all right, we see an example of all of those things in 1 John 2 and 15, where the Most High God literally tells us that, matter of fact, can you bring it up real quick? Let's read it real quick. I don't want y'all to think I'm just talking outside my neck and I'm just out here chatting, bro. Like, we need to see what the Most High God says, because that's what really matters at the end of the day.
I got you, bro.
I'm just a messenger.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 15. It reads, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Keep going. Read the 17.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever.
That is the only way that we will be able to abide and live with God for forever. All that is in the world, everything that we see is just sin. It's literally like candy for our flesh. All right? You ever walk into a candy store, you just see all these different candies, like, damn, I want to try that one, I want to try this one, I want to try that one. That's literally what your body, your flesh is experiencing each and every time that you wake up in the morning, before you even leave the house. Because a lot of us, hey, you might check your social media before you do anything. You're already getting exposed to it at an intensified level. So with that being said, you cannot find love in that. You cannot be so drawn to it to where you are taken away from God. There has to be a separation. It's either you're going to serve the Most High God or you're going to serve your lust.
That's right. That's 100% right, bro.
All right.
Let's take that back to Galatians. We on chapter 5, verse 22.
All right. Verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Against that, there is no law. There's no law that says, hey man, make sure you extra rough with that brother when you go out there. Make sure you
Right.
I'm sorry, I said that backwards. There's no law against there's no law against oh man, make sure you extra gentle with that brother when you go out there. Hey, that sister over there, you better scream at her face. Nah, bro. No, you supposed to have temperance, meekness, strength under control. All right, showing the confidence of the scriptures. You don't have to get all loud and heady. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am a very passionate man, so sometimes I do get loud, but it's not out of a place of anger. You get me?
You're just projecting, brother. You're using your voice as a trumpet.
Right.
Verse 24. And they that are Christ's have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another.
Let's not be desirous of vain glory. Just like it has said in Sirach 19. All right. Oh boy, he desiring power. He putting on the front to get everybody on his side. All right. Let's not be desirous of these things. All right. We supposed to be exhorting one another, taking on one another's burdens, loving one another, warning one another, resisting the pleasures to show that you love yourself. Let's read on down. 6:1.
The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Exactly. What are you doing with this brother? You giving him exhortation, spiritual exhortation, lifting him up. If he's overtaken in a fault, hey man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. My mom, she made some collard greens and she put that hog maul in there, boy. She put that fat, man, it was so tasty, bro. I love it, but I gotta stop. That's your opportunity to be like, bro, it's okay. I'm gonna make you some collard greens with some beef neck bone. and it's gonna be way better. You don't have to be taken in that fault. Exhort me, lift me up.
Absolutely. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself.
Man, I'm sorry, bro. My bad.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It says, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. So this is the exact, in Sirach 19, it says, when we talking to a brother and he goes and he takes our business elsewhere, but we supposed to be talking to each other. So it just tells you that you're supposed to use discretion. But when it comes to that discretion, give warning at the exact same time. A just balance is required. You get me? You get
Absolutely.
I want to make sure I ain't sounding confusing.
Oh, no, I get it. I understand. All right. Verse 4. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, yeah, verse 4. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things.
Exactly. When I'm giving you warning, right? If I'm giving you warning, yeah, I'm giving you warning, but at the exact same time, who's going to sit on that judgment seat for you? Not me. Now, I'm not going to sit on that judgment seat for you. You're going to sit on that judgment seat. Exactly what verse says, for every man shall bear his own burden. But when it comes to lifting each other up, giving each other exhortation, admonishing a friend, all right? We supposed to confide in one another, but not take one another's business out there. But the only person that's going to sit on that judgment seat, if you decide not to take reprovement, decide not to take correction, is you. Or Me, I should say. Please
Right.
continue.
Self-accountability, right?
Exactly.
All right. Verse 6. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
That's right.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
That's right.
And
That's
let us
right.
not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not.
That's right.
So basically, what that is saying is that if we do the work now, all right, we plant our seeds now, we go through everything that the Most High God told us that we're going to go through, because obviously gold has to be tried in the fire, right? We do all those things, we are going to reap the benefits. We're going to reap the fruit of our pasture in the end. But it's important that we do not faint in this truth, that we don't give up within this truth, that we don't move away from God within this truth. Because if you do so, essentially what you'll be doing is you're kind of giving up everything that you would have received, that you just remain faithful and dedicated to this truth. And that's something that we have to do as Israelites. It's not always easy. We constantly have so many different obstacles being presented in front of us. We have so many different temptations that are constantly throwing haymakers at us. All right. But we can't give up. We have to stay strong. We have to stay sturdy, if you will, within this truth and within God in order to receive what he has planned for us.
Exactly. And just like what it said earlier in this chapter right here, bear one another's burdens. You don't have to go through this alone. You don't have to. If you choose to be in this individual light, that's on you. But you don't have to. All right? Talk to your brothers. Admonish your brothers. Resist the pleasures of this world and be ready. For in due season, we shall reap if we faint not.
Right.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith.
That's right. Especially one thing we can't do. We can't do. What you about to say?
Oh, no, I'm not saying anything. I'm just here.
Yeah. One thing we cannot do, especially us who have alienated everybody in our lives, in our former lives before this, is to condemn our brothers, not have gentleness and meekness, not exhort them, not to lift them higher. And we're going to just condemn our brothers. Oh, yeah, nah, man, you falling off, bro. You in the world. You going to hell. What are you talking about, man? I'm still doing the Sabbath. I still do the feast days. I still read my scriptures. I'm still teaching my gates and doing what's proper. Don't condemn your fellow brothers when you don't even want to talk to them. Admonish them. Warn them.
We have to do things in order, right? We have to do things and we have to judge in a righteous manner. All right. You can't sit there and try to tell somebody one thing, but you're not even following it. You're a hypocrite. Then even in that, like, you can't sit over there and just condemn somebody all the time. Sometimes you have to leave a little bit of room for them to maybe see something that they didn't see before. Right. Because as we just stated earlier, not all of us know everything. Okay. Sometimes we may just need that brother or sister to kind of, knock us upside the head. Be like, hey, listen, this ain't right. Let me show you something real quick. Let me show you what the scripture says. Yeah. And if you do that, you would have gotten further along with them in their enrichment and their edification than you would have by just strictly just cutting them all the time. Because you got brothers who they just love to cut you with scriptures all the time. Don't even understand the scriptures they're throwing at you, but they just gonna cut you. It's something my wife always tells me. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And a lot of times you may gain a brother or you may lose a sister based off of your delivery on certain things. So it's something that we have to be mindful of.
That's right. 100% right, bro. Hey, family, we already an hour in. I'm sure everybody needs a break. We're gonna pick right back up with part 2. If you wouldn't mind, bro, let's read Matthew
26.
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate y'all for sticking with us, praying that this will be edifying towards you and helpful in your walk. So yeah, let's hit Matthew 26, verse 6. Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body. She did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her.
That's right. We're going to honor this woman. All right. We're going to honor the Lord. And we're going to pick back up with part 2 shortly.
All right, then. Well, with that being said, brothers and sisters, Brother Chiskaya,
Brother Laharoy,
and this is once again Sunday Heat Topic, Resisting Pleasure, Admonish a Friend, part 2 coming soon. So just wait on it. All right, Shalom.